So many people in Uvalde are most likely still in shock from yesterday's shooting.
Yeah, the trauma they're left with really is unimaginable. It lasts forever. That's where groups like the Ecumenical Center come to help. Mary Beth Fisk is the director of the center. She joins us live now. And Mary Beth, you've made it back to Uvalde. You were there all day yesterday. You're back there now. Have you been able to meet with any families yet this morning?
Absolutely. We have families who have come to the community center, the civic center here, that are receiving resources of counseling as well as other resources that are being provided to them. There's also another location for the families so desperately touched by this tragedy who've lost a loved one as well. So our counselors are there supporting them as well.
And Mary Beth, unfortunately, you guys have extensive experience in this. You've responded to things like this in the past, mass shootings, specifically the church shooting in Sutherland Springs. So what kind of resources exactly are you able to provide these victims?
Absolutely. What I think is very important to remember is that the tragedy, the shock that they're in now will last a period of time, but that it's a very long journey, as Barry mentioned. A lifelong journey, and that support they need needs to be continuous and provided within the community. So we will work together with our colleagues to do that as well. Sutherland Springs was an example of another horrific tragedy, and so in that we also responded to El Paso, but it's been very important to have trauma specialists that are available to these families.
And Mary Beth, you mentioned Sutherland Springs. I know you and Marla Rushing and some of the others were there for weeks. I mean, is there a time frame in which you guys are going to be in Uvalde?
What's so important to remember, Barry, is that we still have 3 offices in the Wilson County, Sutherland Springs area serving that community. So the need is great. The need will continue. So we're trying to amass some resources to be able to staff and bring a counselor into the community for many, many months to come.
And Mary Beth, I know Uvalde, being such a small city of 16,000 people, very tight-knit community there. So you know a lot of people, probably the entire city is impacted by such a horrific event. Your services are being offered to just about everyone?
Yes, absolutely. Certainly to the families who've experienced this tragic loss, but also to the community, because as you say, so many people are connected in a small community. Many people do know one another and they care for each other. And so we're seeing an outpouring of that love and care and kindness. Thoughts and prayers are very welcome to these families and to this community.
And you're also going to be focusing on law enforcement as well that responded to the scene, correct?
Absolutely. So we did meet with some law enforcement last evening. We're working with DPS as well in the community and with the officials in the community to provide services for those law enforcement personnel that had to deal with the situation of yesterday and also that long-lasting trauma that they will carry.
All right. Mary Beth Fisk with the Ecumenical Center here in San Antonio. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now, Mary Beth, thank you.